Hi, welcome to my video on the equation of a line, practice 1C. Find the slope of a line perpendicular to. Perpendicular lines, perpendicular symbol. Perpendicular lines have negative reciprocal slopes. So that means you change the sign and you flip the fraction over as you get a reciprocal. So the slope of this line here is negative 3/4 because it's y equals mx plus b. The slope is negative 3/4. So the perpendicular slope, or the slope of the perpendicular line, is negative, is the opposite of a negative is a positive, and you flip it as 4/3, positive 4/3. For b, I have to find the slope of that line. This is standard form. So we have to solve the equation for y. So we move 4x over to here and make it minus, divide by negative 2. So we get y equals 2x minus 5. So the slope of this line, y equals mx plus b, m is 2, so the slope is 2. Again, the perpendicular slope, or the slope of the perpendicular lines, is reciprocal, is 2/1. So it's 1/2, and that's a positive, so it's the negative. So it's the negative of this number. Since it's positive, we make it negative, and we flip the fraction, -1/2. Now here, the line through these 2 points, so we have to find the slope of this line and get its negative reciprocal. So this is x1, y1, x2, y2. So the slope formula, y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. So y2 is -1, subtract y1, which is -5. x2 is -3, subtract x1 is -8. Double negative is a positive, so that's a 4 all over -11. So the negative, normally I put the negative in the numerator, so the denominator. So the slope of this line is a -4/3. So it's perpendicular slope, the slope of the perpendicular line. So that's a negative, so we make it a positive, and we flip the fraction as 11/4. Positive 11/4. Number 2, find the equation of a line in point slope form if perpendicular to this line. So this is standard form of a line and through this point. So we have the line, so it's perpendicular to this line. So I'm going to solve this equation for y, get a slope, and get its negative reciprocal. So -12y equals -3x plus 24, divided by -12, and we have y equals positive 1/3, and the 3 goes 1, 3 and 12 goes 4, so 1/4 x minus 2. So the slope of this line is 1/4. So the slope of the perpendicular line, so I say perpendicular slope, slope of the perpendicular line, is its reciprocal, 1/4 reciprocal is 4, and it's a negative. So the slope is -4, and it's going through the point 1, -7. So we want to find the equation in point slope form. So y equals y minus y1, m times x minus x1. So the point is, that's x and that's the y, so that's 1 and 1. So it's y minus -7, and the slope is -4, and x minus 1. So y plus double negative is a positive. So this is the equation of the line in the point slope form. Again, notice these are opposites, so that's x minus 1, so the x coordinate is 1, and this is y plus 7, so the y coordinate is negative 7. So again, perpendicular lines have negative reciprocal slopes, except when we talk about vertical and horizontal lines, there's no negative reciprocals. And again, find equation in slope y-intercept form if it has the same x-intercept as this line and has the same y-intercept as this line. So let's take the first line and get its same x-intercept. So the x-intercept intercept x, or x-intercept, is when you let y equals 0. So we make y equals 0, and we solve the equation. So because the common denominator is 3, I'm going to multiply by 3. 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times negative 1/3 is negative 1x, and 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. So x, move the x over. So the x-intercept is negative 6. So that's the point. Negative 6, 0. We make y is 0. And it has the same y-intercept as this line. So a y-intercept is when you let x equals 0. So I'm going to take this equation. Y plus 1 equals 2 times x minus 4. And we're going to let x equals 0 and solve it. So we can, that's 2 times negative 4, so y plus 1 equals negative 8. So y equals negative 8 minus 1, y is negative 9. So that's the point. X is 0 and y is negative 9. So I need to get the equation in the slope y-intercept form. I have the y-intercept, so I need to get the slope. So the equation is y equals mx plus b. I already have the y-intercept, so that's negative 9. So I need to get the slope. Don't have it. I can take this point and plug it in. If I plug this point in, it won't work. So let's plug this point in. That's x and y. So y is 0, and we're looking for the slope, and x is negative 6. 0 equals negative 6m minus 9. 6m equals negative 9 divided by 6. So m is, and that's a negative 3 is common factor, so divide by 3. So the slope is negative 3 over 2. So y equals mx plus b. Slope is negative 3 over 2 times x, and the y-intercept is negative 9. I could have taken these 2 points right here, this one, which is the y-intercept, and this one, which is the x-intercept, and worked out, using the slope formula, worked out the slope. And I would have come up with, so there's another way to get the slope. Do the slope formula on these 2 points, and you'll come up with negative 3 over 2. Number 3, find the equation of the horizontal and vertical lines through the point 1, 3. So the point x is 1, y is 3 is right there. So I'm going to do the horizontal line first. Equation of the horizontal line. So the horizontal line is this one going to this point. There it is. So automatically, if it's a horizontal line, you can get it very quickly. But every point on this line has the x's change, but the y is always 3. So the fastest way is say y is 3. Y is 3 right here, 0, 3. This is 1, 3. This is x is 2, 3. This is negative 1, 3. So the y is 3. At the horizontal line is always y equals the number, the y coordinate is passing through. Another way to do it is that slope of this line, the slope is rise over run. So the rise, if you go from one point to another one, the rise is 0 and the run is 1 or 2 or 3, so the slope is 0. So you could have y equals mx plus b. So we have a y-intercept of 3 and we have a slope of 0, so y equals 0x plus 3. Oh, sorry, let's make that a b there. Let's pretend we don't know what the y-intercept. So the slope is 0, the y-intercept is 3. So 0x is the same as 0. So we have y. That's another way to get the equation, because the slope of the horizontal line is 0. And we plug that into y equals mx plus b. We come up with y equals 3. And let's look at the vertical lines at this point. So here's the point, 1, 3. X is 1, y is 3. The vertical line to that point is this one. And the fast way to do a vertical line is that on a vertical line, all the x's are the same and the y's are changing. So this point is x is 1, y is 0. Right here, x is 1, y is 1. X is 1, y is 2. X is 1, y is 3. So a vertical line is x equals 1. Because all vertical, that dot shouldn't be there, it should be right here. The vertical line is x equals 1. A horizontal line is y equals the y coordinate. The vertical line is x equals whatever the x coordinate is, because on a vertical line, all the x's are the same. And just to note that the slope of a vertical line, could be a rise of 1 and the run is 0. So there's no run. There's a rise but no run. So that means it's undefined. That means it's no slope. So it's undefined, or we could say it's no slope. But if it's undefined, no slope, we cannot, because it's undefined, or it's a no slope, same thing, we cannot put it in y equals mx plus b form. So the answer is x equals 1. Is the x coordinate that the line is going through. So a vertical line cannot go into y equals mx plus b form. A vertical line is always x equals the x coordinate, the point that it's passing through. And let's continue. One more question to do. Find the value of k if the line perpendicular to the line through these 2 points, 3k, 4, 1k, has a slope of 2. So let's call this one x1, y1, x2, y2. So the slope formula is y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. So y2 is k minus y1 is 4, and x2 is 1 minus 3k, x2, x1 is 3k. They can't be simplified. And it says that the line through these 2 points, this line that's perpendicular to the line through these 2 points, has a slope of 4. Sorry, slope of 4, what did I get 4 at? Has a slope of 2. Because they're perpendicular, that means that if this slope is 2, then the line through this point, so if this slope of the line is 2, that means its perpendicular line, or the perpendicular slope of the line, is a negative 1/2. So that means that k minus 4 over 1 minus 3k is, so if this one is a 2, this one must be negative 1/2, because they're perpendicular to each other. So let's solve this out. So 2 times k minus 4 equals negative 1 times 1 minus 3k. 2k minus 8 equals negative 1 plus 3k. 2k minus 3k equals negative 1 plus 8. So the k's go to the left, same as the x's do. The constants go to the right. When you move them, you change the sign. So plus becomes a minus 3k, plus 8 minus 8 becomes a plus 8. So that's negative k equals 7. Multiply by negative 1 or divide by negative 1, k is equal to negative 7. So that's one way, which is the easiest way. We let this equal to the negative 1/2 and solve it out. But another way would be to say, well, if this is 2, then the negative reciprocal of this one is going to be a 2. So if I could go the negative reciprocal of this slope. So that's 1 minus 3k over k. So this, the negative reciprocal of this is equal to this one. So when I did this one, I took the negative reciprocal of 2, which is a negative 1/2, and worked this one out. Now, if I get the negative reciprocal of this one, which is right here, that's equal to 2. And the negative is, if you do that, that's a negative 1 over 1. So that's a negative 1 plus 3k all over k minus 4 equals 2 over 1. So put the negative 1 as negative 1 over 1 and multiply numerator, multiply denominator, multiply by numerator by negative 1, multiply denominator by 1. Cross multiply, so 1 times negative 1 plus 3k is negative 1 plus 3k. 2 times k minus 4 is 2k minus 8. So 3k minus 2k, negative 8 plus 1, k is equal to negative 7. So either way, this is the easier way. You get the negative reciprocal of 2 and let it equal to this expression here. But if you do it this way, you got to be careful with the math. It's a little bit trickier. But anyway, k is negative 7. So if we do, let's check to see if we're right. K is negative 7. 3 times negative 7 is negative 21. And a 4. We got a 1, and k is negative 7. So that means putting negative 7 into the value of k gives you these ordered pairs, and I should have a slope. Since this slope is 2, this should work out to be negative 1/2. Let's see, the slope is negative 7 minus 4, 1 minus negative 21. So this is x1, y1, x2, y2. So y2 minus y1 and x2 minus x1. And that gives us double negative is a positive, so that's 22 there. That's negative 11. So that's 11 is the common factor. So divide by 11, you get negative 1 over 2. So the slope of this line, when k is negative, the slope is negative 1/2. This is a negative 1/2. This is 2. They're reciprocals, negative reciprocals of each other. So these two lines have the negative reciprocal slopes. And the value is negative 7 for k. And this brings us to the end of these videos on the equation of lines. And again, if you like my video, click on the like button, subscribe buttons. And I thank you for viewing my video. I hope the video helped you. Bye-bye.